round kick off the front leg. Look like this. Bam, bam. That gets your hips all bent. I don't want to have my knee kind of bent. I want to be able to have my knee fully bent. I'm here, just bring the knee. So, yeah, it's going to be awkward. Now kick.
Not with me, though. It's okay.
So now, check this out. It's Native Fitness and Combat Arts. I haven't done a video on here in years, but I'm doing it today. I'm gonna go through in this video before I get into it, because I've already done most of it. This part right here is actually just doing the intro of it. But I show in this video how to deal with a distance and everything on bob and on a bag. Now, I'm probably gonna do the bag first, because the bag work is typically what everybody gets into. Bob's a little bit more expensive, but bobs are for more realistic approach. So, my name is Amos Israel. I've been doing martial arts since I was 17. That was about 15, 16 years now. So, one of the things that I have been doing is when I'm training people is I'm typically correcting stances and stuff. People get frustrated, but it's because, one, if I see that a person is good with you know, the shoulder in front and throwing the lead hand, they got a long reach, I don't want them squaring up and then throwing the shorties. You gotta throw that long one out there, not square up and throw the shorties. So these are reasons why I go through this, but we're gonna go through some things in this video. Let's get to it. All right, so I'm first gonna go over right now the distance and the weapons that you're using when you're doing combat, not really sparring, more like fighting. When you're actually fighting, the distance and a correct punch with the correct weapon or part of your hand that you're gonna hit with. So just to be starting off with this specific detail, you have to understand what you're hitting with is these two. You don't want to hit with these back ones unless if you turn it sideways, then you want to hit with all four of these. But you want to hit with the knuckles first. You don't want to hit with these right here, your fingers. So typically how that looks is the range that you have to have is about right here. See that? Now you might think, oh, I fully extended my arm. No, you didn't. If I was back here and I did this, I did fully extend my arm. The moment that you have to over-exaggerate your shoulder, you've extended your arm. Now there's ways around it, like leaning. Now I haven't done it, but I don't want to lean. I want to know where my distance is so that when I do lean, I know exactly how far away I can be. So starting off, what I'd say you guys would do is you want to drill this every day until you got it down where your reach is. You're here, boom, boom, boom. See that? I want to touch the bag without feeling like my elbow is going to go backwards. Same thing on this side. Boom, boom, boom. That's what you're going to do. So then you have reach and the type of knuckle part that you hit. Because the reason why I say you want to know your reach and your length is because when you're on the street, it's a little different than being like in a dojo or in a boxing ring or anything. It's different when you're on the street. I've been in the actual boxing ring a couple times. What we did mainly combat. It's been combat karate each time, but I've been in the boxing ring and I've been in the main ring, and I actually have sparred with boxers and kickboxers too, so I understand how the movement works. But the way this works right here, check this out. Here, boom, now I'm gonna be able to hit there and be able to indent with my knuckles. After that, what I don't want to do is get to the point where I get in here. The moment I have to cock this elbow up to shoot it in, I've got way too close. I want to be able to shoot it straight right there with speed, accuracy, and strength. Speed, accuracy, and strength, because the reason I say accuracy is because you might throw it off him and skim him. You don't want to skim him. You want to pop him straight in the jar. Each time, hit the same spot that you've been looking at. So you put a target down, hit that same spot. Pap, pap, pap. Backhand, pap, pap, pap. Front hand, pap, pap, pap. You want to hit that each time. You never want to get to this point right here. Now, the reason I say that is when you get to boom, boom, and you're going forward already. So you're going to get close, but this hand's already trying to hit before you get too close. So, oh, bam, right there. See how far? That's all it'll be. You don't want to, like I said, be this close and you're trying to throw it. Now, some people say, oh, it's good to be this close. It seems good, but when you are super close, it takes away power. Then that's when you see this is why boxers have techniques like when they twist their body into it. That's when you start doing that stuff to try to gain power. But really what you're doing is you're giving yourself distance from it so that when you get back close, you can hit it with more power. That's the reason that you're twisting your hips. People are like, oh, why am I twisting my hips? To generate power. That's the basic statement. But what you're really doing is you're creating distance. You're creating what you call space. I'm creating space. Like when I cock this back, what did I just do? I created space. That's why people cock it back and then throw it forward. It's a natural human reaction to things being close. You cock back. That's why we're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to be at the right range to pop them without having to cock back. So we've already went to the gym. We hit the bag. So now we got Bob. Like I said, we're gonna work with Bob. Bob is a good example of a person with a high guard. To a certain degree, he's not really blocking his face. The arms don't go to his face to block, but he has a higher guard. The reason I like this is with a higher guard is it's harder to throw a kick over his arms and you can throw in between, like right here. I can throw right in between. Yeah, really easy, right? Made a whole dirt stain on his face. But it's real easy to throw a kick, you know, at his face through his guard. But over his guard, like if I'm throwing a round kick over his right hand with my left foot, that's harder. I can throw it over his right hand, but it's hard. So that's the whole point. On the street, typically you'll have people trying to cover up, or you know, some people, you know, you got all the weird stuff. High, typically people like high guards. Sometimes people you down here. Whatever stance people have, you can find a way through it. Now, this is not protection at all for gut checks or face checks. This right here covers the face. This right here still is covering the face actually, because as soon as you throw a punch, they can parry it. So this is the reason why I like Bob having the high guard, because then it kind of symbolizes, or should I say, it simulates somebody like on the street with a high guard. So now I'm coming at him with the same technique I was doing on the bag. Remember, my reach is gonna feel different now because it's a mannequin, or pretty much a person, instead of it being a bag. So this right here feels like it's super far away, but it's really not. Look, see? And now you see the thing I'm not doing is I'm not doing this yet, but it's not. This is the extent of my reach that I can go where my elbow's still slightly bent. So it feels farther, it feels like, oh dang, I'm far away. Really, you're not. You can still get right through there. So now, this Bob's a lot lighter than the bag I've been hitting, so if I really strike him, he's gonna fall over. So I'm gonna try not to do that. I'm gonna try to tag him and move to the side. So that being said, if I'm doing that same approach like I was doing on the bag, hands up, what I'm gonna do is I am gonna bam right there. Now you see it doesn't pow like you're hitting on the bag. It won't. But what I did is I did depress his chin with my hand. Show you again, right here. Right there, see that? I was right in between his nose and his mouth. Right here, that's his nose. So that's sticking. Now I stick and move, I might, right there, I might do that. Or I might, right there. Again, the drill, touch, touch, or touch, 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 touch. You want to get it to where you're hitting the same spot each time. You don't want to Like if I'm doing touch Dutch, I don't want to go touch at the chin and then all of a sudden I'm in the nose when I do it again. Like touch, chin, and all of a sudden touch up in the nose when I'm trying to hit the chin still. So you're trying to get that before you start going faster. Touch, 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 touch. You want to go faster and faster to where you're still hitting the same spot. Any other range. Range, same spot. Now, there's something called a blitz. In all combat sports, they have a blitz. For karate, it's a little different, but I'm gonna show you it. Now we call it a blast in Kim Kwon-do, and in Andokan, we call it a blast. But this is a blitz for all intents and purposes because everybody uses that term. So right here, that's your blitz. Now, like I said, when I was on the bag, you want to wrap him up, right? That's the thing about the bob. I can really get in there and wrap him up. So I'm here. I'm able to wrap him up, get into positions of advantage. Even if he's bigger, I can move his face out the way, and I can push him off me and then get right back to the strikes from distance. You want to be able to hit him without him hitting you. So I'm here, bam. Now, that was the extent of my reach from here to here. It looks far. If you're to be right there, you wouldn't even think you could reach him. That's the extent of my reach. Any farther, I'm hyperextending my elbow. Bam, bam, right there. Second hand typically doesn't hyperextend because second hand you're reaching through. You're ready closer. So bam here. Once I turn the shoulder, look how much closer I am. Here. So again, combination. Wham, wham, here. Blitz. Wham, wham. Catch. Range. Wham, here. Wham. So these are things that you guys can work on, but with that, we're gonna end this video.